the best grooming products for you. Yes, all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, your style, class, and luxury. Make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Grooming company. To give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The black gentleman, yeah. Company. To give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just the chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, July 15th, 2024. This is number 90 in the series of Nerds, and we are coming back with a good one for you this evening. We're going to talk about this evening sequels that we never got, thus the movie theme for the evening. So pull up a chair, your favorite beverage and snack, and let's reminisce on what we really enjoyed in the cinemas and wished that we could get more from those properties with sequels. Yeah. So with no further ado, allow me to introduce my co-host of the show here this evening. Rocking with me, we got Drew Titan in the building. What's going on, man? What's happening?
Oh, we're gonna have some fun tonight, man. I'm good.
Yeah, I sprung that commercial on you there. I know you wasn't expecting that one, but that's a holdover from when we were talking about the drive-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, they used to play those in the theater, you know, in between the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the drive-ins. And they had several of those, several different ones. That's one of the older ones.
Right.
But then they had one, it was just the popcorn, the drink, and the hot dog dancing and singing the same song. But it's been around a long time, man. Very long time. So, but yeah, a little bit excited this evening to talk about some of the films. My allergies are acting up. That's why I keep rubbing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Sequels that we never got. Man, how many times have you been at the movie theater and you saw something that you enjoy so much and you kind of leave saying to yourself, man, I wonder, is there going to be a part 2? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what, we didn't even use the term sequels back in the day. We just say part 2.
Right.
There's going to be a part 2. I'm going to be there if it's a part 2. You know what I mean?
So, man, and this is really, we only like just scratching the surface of this. This is probably something we could revisit later, because I'm sure the audience, whether they participate tonight or when the video uploads, or put it in the comment section, I'm sure we're gonna miss a bunch.
Yes.
And we're talking about all genres, you know, love stories, action, animation. If there's a movie that there was never a part two that we missed, please put in the chat, because it all makes for the conversation. We was only coming up with just a few, but there is, just off the top of our heads, there's a lot of films that You're like, man, I would love to have seen the sequel. Now, some movies, we're not talking about remakes. Some movies they did do sequels to, and it took them about 35 years, and I guess they did kind of right. And I'll let one title out the bag right now. For example, Tron. Tron came out in the 80s. What made Tron such a phenomenon was Tron came out when the arcade video game era hit in the 80s. Really, when the graphics got a little better and everyone's playing Pac-Man and Centipede and Pole Position. And then that movie Tron came out and it paid homage to that video game. Around my way, arcades were, they were the thing. And I remember dudes used to come to the arcade. I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood, and you had the brothers, they come in with the boombox playing Grandmaster Flash, right? And then when the batteries died, the white kids would come in the rockers with the long hair, and that's why I know all of the 80s rock songs, because we listen to their stuff too, right? And we would be playing all the arcade games. Hey man, let's play Pac-Man. And we all got along, you know what I'm saying? So it was a cultural thing. So when Tron came out, it paid homage to that, to something that the teenagers was doing. So we ran to the theaters and saw it. And we wanted a sequel right then and there, never got it. We got it. When did the sequel came out? Tron, the sequel came out in 2000 and what?
Like 14 or something.
2014. It took us all that time.
Yeah, much later. Much later.
So we got it, but it was literally people were grown and with families went to go see it.
And to that, while you were speaking on it, I found something. First of all, because of the image, I'm gonna put it up. But we can talk about one of these. We could talk about this film starting off the show, because though this movie ended up with sequel, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. The sequel that came later was like a cash-in type of deal. But when the original film ended, it ended with it ended with the character where we were supposed to see something coming up, and I'm going to put it up here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it. Damn it.
Damn it. You remember this?
Oh, come on,
bro. You remember this?
Man,
dude,
were you not amped to see how he got that?
I was amped. I was hyped when the movie was rounding up, and then you heard Mako's voiceover talking about Conan's future conquest, and then the scroll on the screen came up that said that he had much more, and he even became a king. Yep. But that's the story for another time.
Another time, I said, man. and here's what people don't realize.
This shot of Arnold with the beard, and he's got the robes on and everything. Man, I wanted that sequel like next summer. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it would have did a blockbuster, but what people don't realize, when I was a kid, of course, I don't realize it, but Conan the Destroyer, although it was a sequel, you can tell the writing was different. It was a lot of comedy in it when you look back at it. Although as a child, I was a kid, it was fun to watch. But if you go back and look at the first Conan and Conan the Destroyer, the sequel, there's really no comparison.
Right.
There's really no comparison. The first movie was way more serious. The second movie was more clowny. It wasn't like outward comedy, but there was more clowny stuff. And salute to Grace Jones. She was fine as hell in that film, boy. I don't care what anyone says. But nah, it wasn't my cup of tea looking back at it. But I wanted to know how he got here. Dude, and I was looking forward to that, man.
That shot alone is such a money shot. I remember in the theaters, everybody going, ooh, because it was like it was like they were telling us this is what we were gonna get next.
Yep.
You know, and just 1982 was when the first Conan film came out, and even at the time, it was groundbreaking for the action, the violence, the realistic look of everything. Do you remember the men being sliced with the swords and everything, and how the wounds opened up? It was really an R-rated film, but it was totally dedicated to the comic. Believe it or not, the graphic Conan novels were exactly like that. We're not talking about Marvel Comics, you know, with the Stan Lee comic books. We're talking about the graphics. That film really set things off, man. And I wanted to see that sequel so badly. I wanted that sequel, bro.
You want to know what I remember about this film the most, seeing it in the movies? When they showed the boobs, my dad covered my brother's eyes. My brother covered my eyes, the hater that he is.
Yeah.
We was all sitting in the theater. We was all in the damn theater. My pops covered my brother's eyes. My brother covered my eyes. My pops was nowhere near me. I said, man, you're a hater. I'm trying to move his hand. He's like, no. I was like, damn. I want to see the boobs.
Man.
My gosh. But man, this was epic, man. And we never got it.
Never got this film, man. Never got it. And it recently got released on 4K, a special 2-disc set. It's an international cut, and then it's the regular theatrical cut that we originally saw. And of course, it's got the second film in there, but the first film was so awesome. And in 4K, oh my goodness, Drew, I don't know, do you watch the 4K films? Dude, it looks great. It looks great. And let me
ask you a question.
Hold on a second. Let me pause and just acknowledge our brother Eric Jordan, who sent the super sticker. Appreciate you, Eric Jordan, with the first super sticker of the evening. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Sir. Salute, Eric.
Go ahead.
I know Arnold is super old now.
Yeah.
But if you can get some good writers and don't make no clown stuff and bring them in looking like this, and as he's sitting on this throne, the older Conan, they tell the story about how he became King Conan, and they just morph him back into this younger version with a beard and use a little bit of CGI to show how he conquered his own kingdom. Would you?
Yeah, they could do it.
Seeing something like that?
I wouldn't mind seeing it. And let me tell you something. Do you know that they shot the Deadpool and Wolverine film, and you know Hugh Jackman is wearing the comic book accurate Wolverine costume, but he has sleeves on the costume on the set, right? But there have been snippets of the trailers and also scenes that you'll see when the film comes out that they've CGI'd muscular arms on him instead of the sleeves. And I think that was done for 2 reasons. It may have been done, first of all, because Hugh Jackman is so much older now than he was when he did the film Wolverine, where he really got jacked. You remember that?
Yeah.
Wolverine, he really got jacked in that film, and that's when he fought the Japanese samurai, the silver samurai, whatever his name. Yeah, and he got really jacked in that film, and we were like, damn, Hugh is like, you know, he can't do that no more, man, because the dude is 50+ years old, you know.
Right.
But they did go back and I do believe now, having seen that they did a little bit of enhancements for Chris Hemsworth's Thor. Also, I think that they went and made Thor's arms a lot bigger than they really were. I know that Hemsworth got to be a nice size, but I do believe that they enhanced that. But that's one of those things that they wouldn't want to talk about because it makes it look like, you know, oh, he didn't really, but he did work out, Hemsworth. But I think they made him bigger than he actually was. So And that's something that they can do now. So with Arnold, I'm quite certain. And remember, we saw that Terminator film.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. Man, I saw that in the theater.
It freaked me out.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you something. When I went to the theater, I went when it came out. Nobody saw that part coming.
No.
We sort of figured they would pay homage to him in some way. We just didn't know. We thought he would run past a tube and it would say T100 or whatever his number was. Like, oh, that's Arnold. No, we didn't expect that. And when they played the music and it opened up slow, we was like, hell no. And when it showed his face from like back in the 80s, we was like, oh, yo, the whole theater erupted. We was like, yo, it messed us up. People was, when you go, a theater experience is when you got, and you know how black people are, brothers stood up, was like, yo, how'd they do that? And he came out and stomping out, and I was like, oh my God, that scene was everything. It was Arnold. Amazing. It was Arnold, man. So there's no doubt in my mind, if we can get a King Conan, have him sitting there, have Arnold
sitting there, go back and forth in the story. They can show him the story, and then have him like remembering something, and talking about it and narrating
the story, and then you find out, who's he talking to? His kids. He got kids or whatever, man. That'd be great, man. Oh, that's a good one. Damn. Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash, yeah, man.
Whoa.
Tango and Cash, absolutely, bro.
Oh man, that movie was. I saw that twice in the theater. I saw that twice.
Yeah, well, Tango and Cash. Yeah.
You know what? Let's start there. Tango and Cash. Let me tell you something. Again, you knew what you was getting. All action. I wasn't expecting Academy Award, but I was impressed with that film. I love the storyline. I love the one-liners, and the action was on point. When they locked him up in the prison, and that actor with that big jaw, he said, "You broke that jaw?" Man, they were busting ass in that theater. I mean, in that jail, they were busting ass in that, man. That whole film, I was locked up. I saw it twice. That's how much I liked it. When did that come out? Like 92, 91, 92?
Early 90s. Yeah, definitely early, man.
Yeah, early. I was in high school when that came out, man. But that movie, I would not have mind. It came out in 90. That sounds about right. Yeah. I would not have mind seeing a sequel to that because that was good. I really liked that, man. And that was like at the height of the well, it's not 80s, but like 90s. Action was the thing, and I really appreciated that film. A lot of things blowing up. Oh, I just thought of something. I'll save that for next week. I just thought of something. But you remember Tango and Cash, right?
Oh yeah. There was a time when Kurt Russell was the man. He was right up there with Stallone and Arnold. You know what I mean? He was doing his own thing, and then that was a great crossover to have them in the film together. You know what else would have been a good one that Stallone did? A sequel to Demolition Man.
I did like that. Yeah, I did like that. A sequel to Demolition Man. That would have been dope. A sequel to Bloodsport would have been dope with Van Damme in it. They did sequels, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
They were like B movies, but the sequel to Bloodsport would have been dope, man. But goodness, man. But Tango and Cash Part 2, I would have liked to have seen it. Man. Oh, man, that's another one, Young DZ. He on it. You remember Cobra?
Oh, yeah, another Stallone flick.
Man, he was badass, man. He was badass. The sequel to Cobra, that would have been dope, man. That ending part, those dudes was cop killers, as a matter of fact, were they not?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Stallone was badass, man. And of course, Champion Heart. I always wanted a sequel to Action Jackson. We never got it, but it was in production. I mean, they were this close. As a matter of fact, Carl Weathers did a movie and it was released in Europe. And the word was it was supposed to be the sequel to Action Jackson, but something fell through. And he wasn't playing the same character. That was the word. I got to do more research on that. But a sequel to Action Jackson would have been brilliant, man. I don't remember how well it did in the theaters. I don't think it did bad. But I think there was an opportunity there to put Carl Weathers over. But you know.
How about this? A sequel to the comedy Undercover Brother.
I would have liked that. I would have liked that. Undercover Brother was really good, man. Undercover Brother was really good. I would have liked to have seen that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That would have been dope. Let me ask the chat. What about Will Smith in Hancock?
Yeah, Hancock.
That would have been nice. Hancock, a sequel would have been really, really nice. I felt undone watching that. I felt undone.
I still laugh, and it's not even funny, but I still laugh at Mike Epps calling him hand job. That shit is just so funny, man. Hand job. He called him. I was rolling when he said that.
Oh, man.
Man, let me tell you.
But that was well done. The Hancock movie was well done. I liked it. That was well done. Look at that. Look at that. Stormy, Last Dragon. Everybody wanted a sequel for that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? You kind of could do it now. Because, what's his name? Taimak? He's still in great shape, man. He's still in great shape.
Only thing is, though, a lot of the cast from the original film passed away. I mean, like 50% of the people that we knew and loved from the movie, they're gone.
He's gone.
Leroy's little brother.
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
And
the parents.
the guy that played Sho'nuff, the guy that played Sho'nuff passed away. It's just, you know, it's like, dang, you know.
Yeah, that's
They could do it as an animation, you know.
They can do it as an anime.
And let Mike do his voiceover and everything.
That'd be great, though.
Find voiceover actors who could emulate the other people, but
I always said a Sho'nuff backstory would have been great. I always said that. That'd have been nice. Look at that. iRobot. That was really good.
Yeah, iRobot, I enjoyed that. That was one of the first films that showed that technology, being able to have like those robots in the film.
Yeah, real good. That was
Speaking of robots, look here, man. I did have this, as we talked about it earlier. I did have this in my queue for discussion. I wanted to mention District 9. This film,
they left us hanging at the end, man.
Yeah, brother. This was one of those films that could have really used a sequel, man. But the first film was pretty darn good. It was kind of like a how would you describe it? Like it wasn't a major Hollywood film, but it was kind of like one of those.
A sleeper. I didn't know I was gonna get absorbed into the story like that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated it because, you know, I think it was a local film at first. It was in Australia.
Right.
And they did it kind of like documentary style, but the CGI was on point. And you know, I was just taken by the between the CGI and the storyline. I thought it was going to be corny, but I ended up watching it like, man, you know, it's pretty damn good. And how it ended, I was like, damn, man. I want to know. Well, you saw what happened to him at the end, but I was like, man, how did that happen? How does it? He turned into one of those damn things, and I said, man, what is going on here? My gosh, man. But I mean, this was a really good film, man. It deserved. I really thought this was one of those things that they put it out and they didn't know it was going to do that well. I don't even know how well it did. But I do believe, in my opinion, I do believe that it deserved a sequel, in my opinion. I would have loved to have seen a sequel to this. Would have loved it.
And what was that film that Matt Damon did that kind of had a theme similar to this? But they went up in space and they had hooked him up to this apparatus like he was a robot or something. Elysium. Oh. There you go, Young Deezy. I appreciate that, Young Deezy. Elysium with Matt Damon.
I remember that.
That film was pretty much, there was a stretch of those sci-fi films. They were kind of out there, but they were pretty darn good. You know what I mean? It's like they had good stories, and then the special effects went with what they were doing, and it kind of made you think a little bit.
Yeah. Look what Reef put. I like that. Rockstar's good for things like that. He said Rockstar Games could do a sequel to Last Dragon. They could video game it. That's what they did kind of with the Warriors. The Warriors video game was based off of the movie. But while you're playing the game, it gives you all the characters' backstory or how they became the Warriors.
Right.
So yeah, I would that's a cheat code right there. I like that.
Yeah, Reap the Watcher says, District 9 is underrated. It's a Oscar winner too.
Good. It was good. It was good.
I liked it. Young Deezy is suggesting The Abyss could have had a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let me ask you, chat. What was that movie? Oh man. Was it? Oh man. 2 movies. Okay, the first one with it was there a sequel with Lawrence Fishburne where the spaceship went to hell and it came back and people were on the ship trying to figure out what was wrong with the ship. But it was was it Deep Star 6 or something? No, that wasn't Deep. That was a show. Event Horizon.
There we go. Yeah, Event Horizon. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Crazy. And that was during the stretch when Lawrence Fishburne was in a lot of good movies.
He was everywhere.
He was in them, when they were talking about doing the Malcolm X film, he was my first thought, before they had mentioned it would be Denzel.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking like Lawrence Fishburne could probably play Malcolm X. And then they cast Denzel, and of course that it was over because Denzel totally submerged himself into that role. But I could envision Lawrence doing it because Lawrence was a good actor, man. He's been acting since he was about 12 years old, bro.
He was in Cornbread.
Yeah, Cornbread. They shot Cornbread. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. My mom cried at that, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. He was also in Apocalypse Now,
He sure was.
And he was underage in that film, and he wasn't supposed to be in there. But they lied on his age. They said he was a couple years older. I think he had to be 16, but he was like 14.
Yeah.
He was in Apocalypse Now. So, man, you see, it's great to talk about this stuff, man, because there's so much in it. And you and I, we were thinking about putting titles together for this evening's show and everything, but you see how it's flowing with the conversation of just everything, because we have an untapped resource of material to speak on and cover, man, because we all have seen some of this stuff, but our experiences are not all the same. So
right.
What really makes it interesting to share and talk about it. That's why I say pull up a chair, your favorite beverage and snack, and let's talk about this stuff. It's like, and we don't mind you guys putting the suggestions in the chat. And
a lot of suggestions,
like, my goodness.
What was the movie where the robbers went on the boat to steal something and they didn't realize there was a monster on the boat? It was like a squid type monster. and they ended up beating the monster, but they end up on this island. And when they got to the island, they thought everything was cool, and then some monster starts running towards them out of the bushes. But the movie ended.
I forget.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that film? Was it Leviathan? Was that it?
Marcus Walls is asking.
Was
I don't
it
know.
Leviathan? They were on a cruise ship, and there was a crew on there that was robbing the cruise ship, and there was some people hiding. The brother got an axe in his head, and he was like, "Y'all thought you was the monster." He said, "Well, what monster?" And then they found out it's this monster that's overgrown, like a squid-like thing, and it's all through the boat. But they blow it up or whatever, and they end up on this island. They think they're safe, and at the end, something starts running towards them in the bushes, like knocking over trees.
Another subject for that show. Let's start with another one.
What was the name of that movie? Because I read something about that ending. I read something about, was it? Anyone know the name of that movie?
I'm trying to think. It doesn't ring a bell.
I'm trying to remember.
What era did it come out?
It came out in the 90s, the late 90s. Oh man, y'all know what I'm talking about? Huh?
Who's in it?
What's this white guy's name? Deep Rising. That's it.
Deep Rising. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me Google that real quick. It's Deep Rising. I read something about that film. That in 1998 it came out. Right? Treat Williams. What's that? Famke Janssen, Kevin J. O'Connor. Man, listen. You know what I read about the ending? When they got to that island and that thing ran towards them and you don't see what it is, you know what I heard? That was supposed to be King Kong.
Really?
They were introducing King Kong into the cinema. And when they got to the island, that was supposed to be the first King Kong film with the new CGI. They stand on the island, and then he comes out of the bushes, out knocking over trees. Because when you see the ending, you hear it, and they're like, "Yo, what now?" Because they just conquered this monster. They're like, "Yo, what is?" You find out that everything in that landscape was overgrown. Because you find out about that monster, it was like it was supposed to be like some sort of fish that was like this big, but they said, "Yo, it's overgrown," and it was all through the boat. So they blow up the boat. And now they land on this island, and then that was supposed to be King Kong, but
wow.
something happened, and of course they put it off.
And that was Deep Rising.
Deep Rising, the very end.
Wow,
the very end.
That's
the very
pretty
end.
interesting, bro.
Let me see. You know, I don't think we should play it, but let me see if it's on YouTube. Deep Rising ending.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yup, it's right here. Let me see. Let me see something. They land on the island. Yeah, this was crazy. Yeah. And you know what? You know what's crazy? Let me see if I'm gonna send it to you. And he's like, now what? They don't die at the end, but they just three of them on the beach is like, now what? What is this? I'll send it to you in a private chat. If you get a minute. That right there.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that was insane because the camera backs up, and when he shows the island, there's a volcano there, and it's like, and he's like, now what? It was crazy, you know. But that was crazy. Yeah.
Well, I got another one that to spring out here that should have been a sequel, and this one right here, man. A lot of us, when we saw it, in the theater, it was tripped out because of how they came out. But how about this one?
Oh, please, I need it. You know what's crazy? The latest flex is when they don't have faith in a movie, they start doing a series on it. I didn't really watch the series because it got kind of crazy. I needed to see a sequel to this in the film, in the movies. Yeah, man, this right here, because this took Zombie to a whole new level. I mean, these guys running at top speed, knocking people over, crazy stuff, man. And
they were like climbing up stuff. It
was creative.
Yeah,
it was creative,
man.
when they figured out how do they pass along. And you know, if you have like a disease, a fatal disease, they'll run right past you. They'll run right past you.
If you had cancer or something,
Yeah, if you had like something crazy, you know. I was like, man, the way they figured that out, that was very creative, man. But this was crazy, man. The way everything happened, oh man, I really enjoyed this, man. I love a good zombie film. I love it, man. I mean, the remake to Dawn of the Dead. Can we have gotten a sequel to
Zack
that?
Snyder did, man.
Yeah.
Remember they was running down the street, bro? They was like, you remember all the zombie movies have them moving around kind of slow, right?
Yup. You know what was funny?
Not Zack Snyder's zombies.
Man, listen, when her husband chased her out the house and she got in the car and got away, he was chasing the car, then he made the sharp left and tackled the other woman. That was funny as hell, man. Once I saw that part, the movie didn't slow down. Me and my boys, let me tell you how we went. Yo, we love movies like that where there's like no wins. We knew what we was going. Man, we went to the theater on we caught it on a Sunday morning. Everyone was off from work. We caught the first show. Yeah. We bought a bunch of sandwiches. We bought some juices, some potato chips, and we paid for the tickets. We just walked in. The dudes ain't bother us. Walked in there. We sat down and we just eating food, laughing out loud. It was funny, man. It was only us in the theater. It was like 11 a.m. the first show. Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Great stuff. And then the ending. They get to the island and there's zombies on the island. You don't know what happens. I would have loved that. But World War Z, man, that I would have loved to have seen a sequel to that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
Hart says it was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah. Yo, did we do a film? Did we do a focus on zombie films?
No, we didn't
do that. The history of zombie films.
Yeah.
You know, that's why my parents hated the original Dawn. The original Dawn of the Dead. You know what pissed them off? They said they knew that brother wasn't a zombie. They shot him because he was black. Oh man, that was funny. Let me see.
Man, I don't even like the fact that you mentioned that shit because it's true though. It's like,
it's true.
Yeah, there's one right there.
They're like, what? Come on, man. Now, mind you, family, the remake to Dawn of the Dead, the brother actually turned into a zombie because he was in the basement. He was the last survivor. When they let him out, when he came outside, he turned. In the original one, in black and white, he was the only survivor. And they didn't have to shoot him. They knew there goes one right there. He was running towards them. Hey! And they shot him in the head. I was like, damn it. The world is ending and racism is still around. That's crazy. We just can't get a break. You know what I'm saying? But in the remake, once the humans figured out how to kill them, we start herding them like cattle, right? And people were looking like, man, we really are the monsters, aren't we? Because they were herding them and playing with them and beating them up. It's like, man, that was crazy.
Yep.
That's funny, Marcus Walls.
Salute to Marcus Walls out there in that super chat. He says,
It's on
need
the
that
list.
True Lies.
It's on the list. It's on the list. Man,
we talked
listen.
about it. Yep.
True Lies was really good. True Lies.
Remember the scene when he was sitting up there in the room and he had old girl doing the dance for him
Yes.
and everything, and she didn't know that was her husband?
Yes. She didn't
That was
know.
a great scene, man.
You know what I didn't know?
And boy, wait, let me finish. But boy, did Jamie Lee Curtis have a body or what?
I was about to say that. You know what I didn't notice? Because again, I was a shorty.
Yeah.
All the brothers used to say, they used to be like, yo, Jamie Lee Curtis, that white lady, she can get it. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? When I got older and I looked at the old films, I was like, oh, okay. She was in shape.
But sad to say, why does she look like Bruce Willis now? You know I ain't lying.
Oh, man.
You know I ain't lying.
Damn it.
They look like they could be brother and sister, twins.
Stunt double.
Am I lying?
No. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, you're right, Champion Heart. It was Night of the Living Dead. Not Dawn of the Dead. Night of the Living Dead. You're right. Ooh, the Eraser sequel. That would have been dope.
Yeah.
That would have been dope. Young DJ said they don't age well. Hey, man. But True Lies, that was a solid film, man. True Lies was a solid film.
You know, True Lies was really a interesting film, man. We had comedy.
Yep.
You had action. You had a little bit of romance in there, and the tango scene was very famous.
It was
the tango scene that got a lot of people, you know, interested. You know.
Wait a minute. When they was at the dinner table and he asked how her day was, and he knew she was lying, and when he just zoned out and was staring at her like, and they played the music and it zoomed in on his face. I was like, yo, he knows she lied. He just looking at her like, and the music came and said, I was like, oh, shit. He wanted to kill her right there. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was funny, man. But True Lies, that is, that was worthy of a sequel, definitely. Wait a minute, y'all. And I need y'all to help me with this. Why wasn't there a sequel to Desperado? And I want to know, was Desperado a sequel? Or did they just have the same actors from El Mariachi? Was it a sequel? Was Desperado the sequel? But they should have made a sequel to Desperado. That movie was off the chain. Desperado was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. Chico, bring your guitars. That was so creative when, you know, the weapons they had in the guitar cases, the machine gun, the missiles. That was crazy, man. They even put that in the video game.
Yeah, man.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Desperado was I knew it. Desperado was a sequel. But I wanted a sequel to Desperado. They needed to make some more noise, man. God damn. That was dope. Now, of course, we spoke about this last week. I would have loved to see a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Now, again, Kurt Russell is still around. It's not too late. They can still do it.
Yep.
They can still do it. I don't know about the rest of the actors, but they can still do it. Especially what they're doing now. Man, listen, I would like to see it. I would like to see it, man. Big Trouble in Little China. That is a cult classic. I would love to have seen it, man. What about this, y'all? It's coming to me, Stormy. And it can be done now. And they probably would just bring it to Netflix. What about a sequel to The Golden Child? Man, and he's still out there doing it. Why not? I would like to see a sequel to Golden Child. Champion Hart said he's too old now. Well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. He can't be doing that running and jumping. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, they brought back Axel Foley. I mean, you know, I forgot his name in Golden Child. You know, bring him back. You know, I would like to see a sequel to Golden Child. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be really dope, man. Golden Child. And how old were you when you found out that the monk was really a little girl?
Yeah, that was wild, wasn't it?
I didn't know that until I was an adult. I said, wait a minute. That's a little girl? I mean, that was the whole time that was a little girl? She got long hair down her back. She probably got a family now. It's crazy. Man. That would have been crazy, man. But they could do a sequel to Golden Child. Bring it to Netflix. I'd like to see that. Really would like to see that. Wait a minute. We spoke about this before. And he's still around. Flash Gordon. You know how I know he's still around? He was just in Ted. And he still has all his hair. Well, I don't know if that's his real hair, but whatever, man.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just working on getting the getting the image to put up, but that's what I was getting ready to put up. Check it out.
Flush.
There definitely should have been a sequel to this, man. This is one of the best cult classics out there, right up there with Big Trouble in Little China, man.
Yes. And I think didn't this do pretty well when it did this?
Yeah, it did pretty well because there was a cult audience for it. You know, Flash Gordon, you know, Buster Crabbe from the 30s, man, used to play it. They got some of those on Amazon, some of the old episodes.
Yeah.
I was watching one like 3 weeks ago, I think, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So they're out there.
And Ming ain't died really. If somebody grabbed that ring at the end. And you know what really helped out this movie was the soundtrack.
Yeah. Queen.
Yeah, man.
I like that beat. Doom, 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 doom.
Oh,
doom,
yeah, they killed it.
Man.
Yo, did you know Freddie Mercury was Filipino?
I did not.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Wait a minute. Yes, I did. But I hadn't thought about it very much because, you know, he I saw the movie about him, you know, and they did show that part of him in the film early. His family just thought he was kind of weird, you know, but yeah, I did see that.
Champion Hart says Flash Gordon has to be 85. Well, he was in the actual actor was in Ted with Mark Wahlberg and the goddamn teddy bear.
Yeah.
He was in the film. He looked okay. But I understand what you're saying. Maybe recast him or do one of those things like you have him in the film, but it's his son or something crazy, but you gotta pay homage to the original actor. Like the Incredible Hulk, you saw Lou Ferrigno walking out the door as a security guard. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a good one.
All right, Sam, what about the Rocketeer? Could have had a
good one.
film.
That's a good one. Rocketeer was really good. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
You know, the director of that film is also the director who directed the first Captain America film for Marvel.
Oh yeah?
That's why they went and got him, because he that era of the Rocketeer.
Mhm.
They wanted someone who could capture the flavor of that era and everything,
Yeah.
and he did it very well. I thought the first Captain America film was very good, man. For whatever they were trying to do, I thought it was pretty good. Of course, it's nothing like the Winter Soldier, but I
What,
just thought that it was well done because it was a period film.
what was that movie that was based off of that genre, but they were they fighting robots? What was that movie called? It came out in the 2000s or something like that.
What genre?
Based off of that old school type of Rocketeer genre, but it was kind of like futuristic, and this dude was leading some sort of army, and they were trying to stop something. Was it Real? No. Real Steel was that boxing movie. The robots were boxing. Nah, this was before that. Because the reason why I brought that up is because when they were showing the monsters that they were fighting, Sky Captain in the World, your Reef is on it. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah, I got that movie. I got that on DVD.
Godzilla's in that movie. Did you peep it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy how they did that. They was talking about how they fought monsters, and you see Godzilla back there. It was crazy.
Yep.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That could have did.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something. When they were talking about doing a new Superman movie, right? I'm the only person that thought this, man. I was like, okay, this is before Zack Snyder brought his film out. This before Superman Returns came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because I saw Sky Captain. I was like, what? I said, what if they brought Superman back, but made him for a different era, like then? Because, you know, you saw how in Sky Captain, how they had the old buildings with the architecture and the biplanes and stuff. I was like, that would be a perfect, it'd be a perfect fantasy world to bring Superman back.
Yes.
And let him be in an era like that. That would be great. Even if it's just a one-off, you know what I mean? But I thought that would be great, you know. And I thought about that. It was like, man, but you know, I don't have no voice. I can't. But I to pitch a film like that, I think it would have worked great.
That would have.
Sky Captain, and I'm glad you mentioned that film. Who was that? Reef Watcher. Hey, thank you, man, because I have that film in my collection and I haven't watched it in years. I'm gonna pull that film out and watch it.
That was really well done.
Watch it.
Yeah, Marcus was Watchmen. Good film, but again, what they do with those things, instead of making the official sequel, because it's a whole comic book, they started making a series out of that.
Yeah.
You know, so look at that, Universal Truth, Goonies. I wanted that when it came out, 80s. Oh, I Am Number 4. That was good. I did like that. But wait a minute. Stop the show. Why wasn't there a sequel to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Dude, that's such a great movie, man. What's my man who can't die?
Alan Quartermain.
Alan Quartermain.
Who is an actual character. He had 2 movies. Alan Quartermain and then Alan Quartermain in the Lost City of Gold. Those are 2 films that came out in the 80s. So that character actually exists. I guess they put him in various stories. So they put him together in the film with a bunch of these famous characters, the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, you know, homie that can't look at his own picture, forgot his name.
That movie was pretty cool.
That movie was hard, man. My pops loved that film. And
they say that Sean Connery hated that movie, you know, hated being in it and everything.
Oh man, why?
That I guess he just didn't get along with the people when they produced it or whatever. but they say he didn't like that film at all. But that's a cult film. I like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
How did it do in the
And I
theater?
love Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in there.
Man, that was great how they did it.
Yep.
That was great how they did it.
They made him really look like he was like contorting and changing into something. He was half one way and half another way. You know, I thought that was well done.
Pull up Mac of the South comment. Did you see that movie? Did you see this movie?
No.
Deadly Prey? Stormy, there's a scene in there. Okay, the woman in there, a grouchy old woman. It's the woman that was in Throw Mama from the Train.
Okay, yeah.
The scene where the girl becomes a robot called BB. It is the most violent kill scene I've ever, when I saw that, I stopped because my cousin had it on VHS. He said, watch this. And when it happened, I said, oh, hold on, pause. We all stood up and looked at him and looked at the, you remember the big TVs that just sit on the floor?
Yeah.
We're watching it like, yo, it was a Saturday night. All the family, the cousins and the kids was upstairs and we was watching this film. And we was like, what the hell? It's called Deadly Friend. In the scene where she killed the old woman with a basketball. Stormy, you gotta watch that scene. Because it is the most vile thing. I mean, you want to talk about a B, B-movie murder scenes are like the worst things you can ever see. Oh my God. I said, what is this? Rewind it. It was crazy. Hold on, let me see if it's on YouTube. I'll put that in the private chat too. Bruh, it's here, Stormy.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Let me mute it. Oh, it's here.
I'll end up checking it out. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yep, it's here. Yep, a nice clear copy, 4K for you. Yep. You get a minute. But I needed a sequel to this because the bitch ain't died. She was like BB at the end. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, why not? Why didn't we get this? First of all, if you have vertigo, don't see this movie. I mean, shit turning, crazy stuff.
This movie was wild, man. I remember when they were going in that car and it was going back, man. Everything about this film was like alternate reality to the max.
Yep.
And Marvel's Doctor Strange stole so much from this film.
Oh, so much. So much.
Unbelievable.
But this is one of those films where it's like they could do a lot more with this.
Yeah, you remember how it ended?
Yeah.
With old boy spinning that jack on the table. It's like, was it real or was he still, underneath?
Yeah, you really don't know. But this is one of those films where I would have went there to see a sequel. But this is also one of those films where the sequel has to top what you already saw. Because this had it all. This had eye candy and a deep story.
Right.
Derek Gaines, he said he never saw it. Yeah, watch it, brother. Watch it. This is a really good film. Really, really, really good film. Now, this is what we spoke about earlier. Chuck Norris, Silent Rage. Come on, man.
Man.
Brother, how do we not get a sequel to that? Come on. Come on, bro. How we didn't get a sequel to that, man?
This movie right here was Walker, Texas Ranger meets Michael Myers.
How did we not get that? How did we not get that, man? Come on, man.
You remember when the guy killed the mad scientist that made him what he was? It was like he come down that corridor looking at him.
Come
Man,
on,
I
man.
couldn't help but laugh. It was like, you know, the audience knew the old boy was a killer, but the doctor didn't know. That shit was funny as hell. You know, that fat boy, I think his name was Stephen First or something from the Animal House movies. He was playing Chuck Norris' deputy.
Yeah.
He was like, he hurt me. Because they had told him to guard that lady. He was like, he hurt me.
He hurt me.
Dude.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's funny.
I can't help it, man.
I forgot about that damn scene, too. I forgot about that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, Mr. Shelton. Nightbreed. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about the Lost Boys?
Oh, did we get a remake of that?
They made something years later, but it wasn't.
It wasn't the one from the 80s. The one from the 80s was a good one. Yeah, the Lost Boys, that would have been dope. I really like that. Oh, here's another one.
You know what would have been a good sequel? To come back with the kids from the Breakfast Club. After
wow.
they right?
See how they turned out.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
All those actors are still around too, right?
Yeah, all of them. They still around.
Wow. That'd have been dope. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Here's my stance on that. Some movies, maybe some of the movies we spoke on, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off was a movie, in my opinion, you couldn't outdo. Because everything was done off of the character was doing off of Wing and a Prayer. You can't outdo that. The only thing they did was like a commercial, a Super Bowl commercial. Where they
Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller. But man, that's another classic film.
You remember that song? Oh yeah. Ba, 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 ba.
Yo, when he snuck into the house, first of all, that's a crazy ass teacher. When he snuck into the house and scared his sister and she kicked him in the face, that was the funniest goddamn thing I ever seen at that time. She was like, Ferris. He was like, Bueller. She was like, ah! And she kicked him in the face like 4 times, knocked him out. It was crazy. Yeah, it was from the Chicago, Champion Hart. It was from the Chicago. Bueller. Oh, he passed away? Oh, man, that sucks. Man. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What about, what are we talking about? Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty dope. Nightmare Before Christmas. You mentioned, I didn't see this. You mentioned Warcraft.
Yes, Warcraft.
I never watched it. Never
Dude,
saw
you
it.
have to watch that film at least once, especially because you see that's right up your alley.
Mhm.
The film is excellent, man. I'm trying to think. Special effects, everything. Hold on. See if I can pull up something here. Pull up something real easy. And yeah, after you watch it, and we could do a show on it because that film it's pretty tight. Warcraft. And if you're a person that plays the game, you know, it really could show.
Yeah, it was based off of I look like my old gym teacher.
See, that's one of the creatures right there.
Yeah, he look like you don't want no smoke with that.
And they had a whole bunch of these creatures in that movie, man. It was like, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm sure I can find it somewhere. I got all this stuff, Hulu and Netflix. Oh yeah, and we said that earlier. Hancock 2 would have been dope. We said that at the top of the show too. Yeah, that would have been dope, man. Champion Heart said, yo, bro, Universal Truth, a Misery sequel? My God, bro. I hated her. I hated her. Wait a minute. No Country for Old Men, Part 2. You don't want to know, yo, the Hitman, he shouldn't have had his own movie? Come on, bro. I want a prequel, and I want to know what happens after his arm is broken, hanging out his damn. I want to know what happens.
There should be a sequel to There Will Be Blood.
Yo, that ending?
Yeah, right?
Woo-wee.
Dude should have left well enough alone, shouldn't he?
Yo, if you remember when your mama used to tell you, when you fucking up, and your mama tell you, all right now, that means you got one more time. And what happens if you don't listen?
When that guy came in there and his manservant told him, sir, so-and-so is here to see you. Dude was laid out on the floor. He was drunk. Did you see him, Drew? That was a great bit of acting. He rose up. He slapped himself to get himself right. And he got up and he got down.
God. My
Man,
God.
listen, that dude is one of the best actors in Hollywood, bro.
Yeah, he was nice. But
One of
man,
the best actors in Hollywood. Daniel
No
Day-Lewis.
Country for Old Men. Let me park there for a minute. Are we sick, or did we actually take more interest in that damn Hitman than anything else?
You know what it is? They turned him into, and that shit always kind of works in an environment that you don't think about. Like, he's a Michael Myers type dude.
Yeah, he don't stop.
But it's not even that, okay, he invented certain kind of ways to delete, but it's like he keeps getting away. The cops just miss him. He just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you're wondering what's gonna happen next. You can't wait to see, are they gonna get him this time or whatever? And that's, you know, he gets away. Dude, it's amazing, but that's why it works. That's why it worked in the Chuck Norris movie, because it's basically the same thing.
That's that. Yeah. You know, but to give props to certain sequels. What was the Harrison Ford movie where they blamed him for killing his wife with Tommy Lee Jones?
Oh,
He said, "I didn't kill my wife." He said, "I don't care."
Yeah, The Fugitive.
The sequel was U.S. Marshals, where they were chasing Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, yeah. But
so that was good. That was good. So yeah, you know, they do have things like that. I would love to see a sequel to what happens with that character, because everyone fell in love with the character. He was an anti-hero. You know, he was evil, but it's like, yo, I want to know what happens with him.
And Robert Downey Jr. was a trip in that movie too, boy.
Yeah,
His
man.
character, you know, it was like, what? Yeah.
Oh, Brightburn. Come on, bro. You find out there's an evil Justice League. That dude was like, I told you there's some guy flying around, and what about all the stuff happening in the ocean? There's sightings of some guy in the ocean, and then there was an evil Superman. We saw him, an evil Superboy. There was something in the ocean swimming around. That was the Aquaman. And I think they made reference to some evil little girl running around. That was supposed to be the Wonder Woman. That was the evil Young Justice. Why didn't we get a sequel to that? Come on, man.
Brightburn was Marcus Balls out there in the super chat. He says The Professional with Matilda as the hitman.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Professional was dope.
Yeah, because what's her name? She's old enough to play that character now. And she's not too old. She's right at a ripe age to come back as that character now.
Yeah. Man. Man. Yo, they left us hanging with Brightburn, didn't they? Pretty mad.
What's that other movie that that guy made with those guys that found their superpowers, and he directed that fantastic Chronicle. There you go. Chronicle needed a sequel, and I think he tried to turn it into that Fantastic Four film because you know he changed the Fantastic Four characters, but Chronicle was a darn good film. It was very good.
That was crazy, man. Oh, that's a good one, Machine Rock. Remember that movie? Denzel Washington?
Yeah, Deja Vu.
Yeah, Deja Vu. Yeah, that was pretty dope. When I went to see that. I think this lady took me to see that. And I said, what the hell am I watching? And then when it had that supernatural element, I appreciated it more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was dope. That was real dope. Jimmy Bernard said there were talks about sequels with The Professional. That character was so dope, man. They should have did it. They didn't do it. Damn it.
And one last one here I got. The first film was not so hot, but it was the end credit scene that made me want to see a sequel. Because when Sinestro yeah, I see Shelter.
You know what it is? I maintain faith that they probably could have made up with the sequel. Got it right. Even he clowned himself for that role, man. In Deadpool, Oh man. But you know what though?
I gotta put this up on the Shelter, tell us how you really feel. God damn.
Man, you know what though? I tried to hold on to faith that okay, get a different writer and bring the cast back, but make it a better film. But they just said, F that, we ain't even doing it, man. Cause I'm telling you,
But
in the
like
comic
I
book,
said,
Sinestro's dark. Sinestro is so dark.
when Sinestro put on that yellow ring,
Yeah.
and he changed, I was like, that is something I want to see. That's you know, I'm sorry, that's what I was looking forward to. And let's face it, there have been worse films than that got a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? That's a show. We could call it They Should Have Stopped Right Here. Oh man. They should have stopped right here. Sequels they should have stopped. Oh, I'm glad they stopped. Oh man.
I'll write that down.
Sequels that you didn't care about.
Yep.
Why?
Man,
Nobody
that's
cares.
crazy, bro.
Oh man, that's funny, man. That's funny.
Well, look here, man. It's almost time. Let's get some final thoughts here, and so we could get you out of here on time to do your show. But again, we breezed through this, man. It don't even seem like we've been on for an hour and a half. It don't
seem like it, man. But this is what happens. Literally, time flies when you're having fun, man. This is another slam dunk, man. And this is what it's about, man. We just shoot the breeze, man. We don't get into too much detail, you know, and crowd participation. Now, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff we missed. Look at that, the Police Academy. You should have stopped. Police Academy 1 was a classic. I mean, 2 was tolerable. They should have stopped right there. They shouldn't even went to 4. They went all the way to like 6. Stop it. But yeah, man. As always, this is great. I look forward to these things on Mondays, man. You get to just relax and kick your feet up, and we just talk about it, man. I enjoy the nostalgia, and I enjoy being a nerd, man. I never let that go, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, this is great.
Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, man. For those of you gonna still be up and online, take your energy over to the Painful Excellence podcast coming up in just a few minutes, where Drew has got some topic for you over there this evening. And we'll be back next week, next Monday, with another Nerds, man. We almost at 100, man. We should do something special for the 100th show. We should think about planning the 100th show, but yeah, we're moving right along, man.
We should do something big for the 100th show. We should invite some people on. General,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just really kick it, man. And oh yeah, make sure you get those links from the private chat.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Absolutely. So salute to y'all, man. Much love, man. I'm gonna go on and get ready for pep talk, man. And I will catch y'all on the rebound.
All right, brother.
Laughing my ass off, man. That's funny.
Yeah. All right, peace to you, bro.
Much love. Later.
All right, later. And salute chat. We're gonna show the Stormybman merchandise advertisement. Yeah. So, with that being said, man, we had a great show this evening. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This was Nerds on Culture, sequels that we never got. We may revisit this with another follow-up because there are so many, but it's a wonderful show. Really appreciated all the chat contributions, the super stickers and super chat. Hey, man, thank you guys for that type of support. And I just want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll be back next week for another show. So until then, peace to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe out there.